Hello and welcome to Be Well Gateway's introduction to the magical gifts of the mind. If you've not met me before, my name is Sarah Trimby. I'm a personal development consultant and I'm so excited you're joining me today to open those gifts of the mind that you were actually born with and discover how to use them. These gifts are your mind's higher faculties. They're what separate us from the animal kingdom because they live by instinct, whereas we are blessed with 6 gifts that allow us to choose how we live, our personality, behaviour and circumstances. These magical gifts are perception, reason, will, imagination, intuition and not forgetting memory. Now you're going to say, well, I know I've got these, I use them every day. It's nothing new. But do you know how to use them? I mean, really use them to the full potential, because this is what successful people do. It's the key, it's the secret. How you use them is reflected in how you conduct yourself and the results that you get in life. You've heard the saying, you are what you think. Well, it's true, but all too often we allow what people say around us and our circumstances to influence instead of originating our own thoughts. We adapt to what we think we should be and what we should be doing. And why am I so passionate about this? Well, it's because using my higher faculties made a massive impact on my life and still do, personally and in my business world. And I started using them without realising what I was doing. And this is, as I now know, is called a unconscious competent. And I was using them many years ago to get a position as cabin crew. Some of you might know that as a flight attendant, and I did that for 30 plus years, and I always referred to it as my paid hobby because I really enjoyed what I did on board the aircraft. I got to travel the world, I saw places and things that people can only dream about visiting, and I got paid for it. I mean, how awesome is that? So I became curious about the mind and I started to do some research, and it really fascinated me. And I've now studied it at great length. I studied at the Proctor Gallagher Institute with Bob Proctor, who is world-renowned master in human potential and success. And so I took this to a really high level, and I decided that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to set up my own business to help people use the power of the mind to get what it is they really want in life. And I then started to focus on how you earn your money, because I suddenly discovered that 85% of the world population don't enjoy what they do. They don't enjoy their work, they don't feel satisfied or happy, and I thought that was just so tragic. So I now concentrate on helping people to find a way to earn money in a way that they're happy, that they're enthusiastic and excited to get out of bed in the morning and get started. And that's something that everybody deserves to have in life. And so that is why it's so passionate to me, because I've always had a position where I earn money in a way that I adore. And you will find that I try not to use the word work or job, because to me that conjures up an image of something you're doing as a chore, something you do to earn money, just to put food on the table, just to get by. But it doesn't have to be like that. You can thrive rather than survive and be happy. And when you think how many hours a week, a year you spend in work, sorry, using the term, that's an enormous part of your life when you're not happy, and that gets taken home to your loved ones and your circumstances, because you're going to go home not feeling happy, low energy and attitude, and this just ripples throughout your whole life, your social life, your family life. So by using these higher faculties and knowing how to use them properly, you can make a massive difference in your life and live that life that you really desire. What's going to happen this week is you'll be receiving each day a video. They're only about 5 minutes because I know you're busy people, and there'll be a little exercise for you to do. What I want you to bear in mind is that we'll be looking at each faculty daily, but they do actually all work together to be beneficial. And so I'll be sending out a video on day 8 which will bring it all together, so you know how to use them to achieve what it is we want in life. What I'm going to do today is just give you a little overview of how the mind works. Very simplified. It's a huge subject, but by giving you this little foundation, you can use it through the week, and looking at your higher faculties, you can see how it plays in the whole scheme of things. So the first question we need to ask is, what is the mind? Very good question, because lots of top scientists and doctors have got together and used really sophisticated equipment to try and find the mind, and they haven't. But if you ask them, have you got a mind? They'll say, yes, of course I have. And if you ask most people, where is your mind? They'll point to their head, because they think of it as the brain. What I'd like you to do is imagine that your brain is like your computer. It's the hardware. So you've got your screen and you've got your keypad, and the mind is the software. It's the bit you can't see. It's an energy, it's an entity. But it's the programming behind what your computer does. So this is the programming. Your mind is the programming in how you conduct your daily life. It controls all your habitual behaviour. And when you realise that your habitual behaviour is the majority of what your mind does, it has a massive impact on how you're thinking. And I'm getting a little distracted, because if you do know me, I'm very passionate about this, and I go off on little tangents, and because it's such a huge subject, and I don't have my notes today to keep me on track. So back to this image of the mind. Because we don't actually have an image of what it looks like, what we use is an image of a stick person. So just let me move my chair a minute. And I'm using paper on my whiteboard today because the light's reflecting on it. What I'd like you to do is imagine, just do that a bit more, that this large circle is your mind, and then this little one is your body. Very simple. Now your mind, for the purposes of today, is split into two. The top one is your conscious mind. This is your thinking mind. This is where you use your perception, your higher faculty of reasoning. It's your thinking mind. And think about this through the week as you go through your higher faculties. Your thinking mind, where you reason, can accept or reject any idea. And it draws in lots of information from what's going on around you, what people are saying, through all your senses. So that's your hearing, your sight, touch, taste and smell. And this all comes in. You can reason through it and decide whether to accept or reject. So you always have a choice in life. Then we come to the subconscious mind. This is the programming that controls all your habitual behaviour. Remembering that the habitual behaviour, I'm having a problem with that today, is most of your behaviour. So this is your emotional mind. Then we come down to the body. And imagine your body as a printer. So you're sending out information, action is taking place, and you're printing a document. So you're getting, let's start with a negative. And media plays a big part, as people do. Say you're taking in a lot of negative information that's going on. You're thinking it through. You're taking in lots of information, but you tend to lean towards the negative side of things. That's what you decided to accept, and that's what you start thinking about is a negative. Well, this gets impressed on your subconscious mind as a negative, and so it's going to start giving you emotions of worry, anxiety, doubting what's going on, confusion, and this can lead on to stress, and as it gets worse and worse, you're going to get depression, which has a massive impact not only on your mind but your body in ways that you can't even see. So with the negative emotions, the actions you're going to take through your body going out are going to be negative. Negative energy, negative attitude. I'm touching on laws of the universe here, which is another programme. What you'll get back will be negative responses. You won't get negative going out and positive coming back in. So that's if you're accepting negative ideas and what people are saying. If, however, you decide to choose to go with positive thoughts, that reasoning through, you decide to look at the positive side of things, then this is going to go into your subconscious mind, your emotional mind, and you're going to be happy. You're going to have a positive attitude, you're going to be enthusiastic, you're going to look for the good in things and want to take positive action. And as I said here, what you give out will come back to you. And as you see positive reactions coming back, then as with both sides, it'll just grow and grow, because as you see positive actions coming back, you'll be happier, more enthusiastic to do more things in the same way. So it's all cyclical both ways. So as you can see, they build and build. And I want you to bear that in mind through the week as you look at each of the higher faculties. And so I'll see you tomorrow for the first higher faculty, which we're going to look at, which is perception. And I really hope you enjoy the week. I'm sure you will. It's fascinating. It's quite addictive. And remember, it all comes together at the end of the week. So don't give up halfway through. If you start to get a little confused, it will all come together. So enjoy tomorrow and take care. Bye.